Hey guys, you got Cheeky Saver here, and if you see this video, then it works. So what we're doing today is replacing the wick on my metal match. This was under $1, delivered Canadian. I think it was like 88 cents on AliExpress. It works great. There is a wick problem. It burns up in 2 seconds flat. It looks like just a cheapo piece of jute twine, and it's not quite jute twine, it's a little different, maybe a cotton. If you were ever in a bind, you could always use jute twine and do it that way. So, the first thing in replacing it, which I've already done, these guys, because they're so cheap, I already had one that I tried to replace the wick on, and what happened was it broke off. The metal striker. This one isn't broken, this one's intact, because I knew the other one broke off. I squished it a bit. Yes, I know it's not the right tool for the job. You could always use a Leatherman pliers for this. You generally have those on hand, so even if you're in the woods, you could do this with a chunk of jute twine and be ready to go. But I wanted something more permanent that would last and just wick and do what it's supposed to do. So what I did first was I tested a match to see if it would go in. And it does. Goes in a long way, actually. Goes in that far, so I need to at least double that, because I want to stick out. Cut it off. What this is ceramic fiberglass. It's used to insulate stoves, and it's what I use to make my Fancy Feast stove. And this is the width I used. I just wrapped it around my tin 3 times in here. You probably can't see that very well. Maybe you can a bit there. I wrapped it around 3 times. I did one and it overlapped a little bit, and then I went to the next one and the next one. After the 3 layers, it was sufficient enough to make it snug in the can. Now that this is on here, it needs to get most of the way in, and we have to, this is going to be a little trick getting it in, I think. Maybe it'll work just fine. Nope, it broke. Okay. I need something else to do this. Something thinner than this. Or maybe I don't. Because the only thing I need to do is get it in. Okay, I'm going to be right back with a tool for the job. Very technical. Okay, we're going to try this again, and hopefully this will be the right tool for the job. It's very, very expensive. A paperclip. Using what you have on hand is kind of an important thing. I could see a needle working too, but it might puncture it. Oh, this is sliding in perfectly. I don't even need the paper clip, I don't think. It was a little thinner piece, so maybe I do need it. Went in part of the way. Okay. That's apparently in as far as it wants to go. I'm going to trim this off. That's a little too much wick. Maybe I'll do it after I get this guy in case it does push it in any farther. So let's do the other end. stuck a little. You do want it in pretty firm. A little on that side, a little on the other side. Now, this does have fluid in it. I'm just going to give it a minute to soak up into there. If it works for this, I think it'll work for this. I know it's a different fuel, but don't know unless you try. Yeah, it's got fuel. There we go. That's a decent flame. And this wick will last so much longer. And there's lots in there so I can pull out more if needed. And I don't have to worry about it burning up because it'll just go out. Now that's what I'm talking about when that's the kind of wick I want. Something that's going to last a little bit longer. And I know it has plenty in there. This guy burnt up and so I couldn't use it and I had to pull it out anyway within a few uses. So my buddy Rando Survivor is right about this wick, but I think that this was a really quick fix and it was something I had on hand because I was making the Fancy Feast stove. If you're just looking for this for the wicking purposes, this stuff's about $3 on eBay delivered from China. It isn't a thick sheet and it takes a while to get to you. And I think the sheet's about 24 inches long and 12 inches across. It's something like that. So that's a lot of wick. I'm not going to be running out. In fact, this piece here accidentally tore my ceramic because I had it in my paper cutter and I didn't realize it. So I just used it off of this. And I always cut it in my paper cutter because it's just the most straight cut that I can possibly do. So that's what I do. Thanks for tuning in. Yet again, we have another wick. One that'll last. Hopefully a day or two longer than that other one. Oops. Maybe put the other side down. There we go. Yep. This one's a winner chicken dinner. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.